Guys, congratulations on the film.
Thank
Keanu,
you.
You've been doing a lot more producing lately, so what was it about this that inspired you? But also, Alice, when you open the script up and you see the script for Replicas, what was it that jumped out at you to want to jump on board?
You first.
Okay. Yeah, this one on Replicas, I was a creative producer. So just a part of developing the story, developing the script, working with Chad St. John, the writer, and kind of, yeah, being a part of the story and the script and the characters. So I didn't have any really physical production aspect on this. And the pleasure of that is just trying to bring your story to life and having wonderful artists like Alice Eve tell the story.
You were wonderful, Alice.
Thanks, guys. This is really my moment. I liked it because, you know, obviously I'm into this kind of future. I did a Black Mirror, I did Star Trek. It's already in my wheelhouse of interest. But this one felt like just a sort of little bit fast forward into a little closer future. It's not 200 years, maybe it's 5 years. And these questions will be being asked of ourselves, maybe all of us, maybe some of us. And that felt, it answered a lot of my questions to see people being replicated, if that isn't a spoiler. Sorry. That's cool to me because that's something that I'm like, how would you do that? How would we do that?
Sure, because in the past, in other horror genres, in Pet Sematary, Flatliners, and Frankenstein even, you kind of get this kind of rebirth. So how do you approach playing a character that's kind of being rebirthed in a sense? And also, what are some of the subtleties that you made acting-wise from being replicated to being the original?
I think that what I decided, because you know we had conversations about this, how robotic she was. I think what I decided for me was that there was another voice in her head, one that we sometimes have in our own lives that we don't necessarily trust. It's maybe an instinct, maybe it's the heart, who knows? But saying this isn't right, or this you should go left, or don't think like that, and that she had that voice running alongside everything she did, and so everything felt like a slightly disconnected experience.
And you guys shot this in beautiful Puerto Rico before the hurricane, and I'm hoping that people go back for tourism out there when they see that it was shot here. But what was it about that city, or about Puerto Rico in general, that kind of added to the story for you guys?
The heat.
The heat?
It was intense.
It was intense. Yeah. The heat, the flora.
The flora.
The ocean.
Yeah.
And the vibe.
And the people.
And the people, yeah.
Science is catching up to science fiction very rapidly.
Totally.
And especially with something like this, because I think that science fiction can do its best to kind of inform people about some of the things that are kind of going on in cautionary tales. So what are you hoping people walk away when they see Replicas? Because this is quite a debate that's going to be happening very soon, like you had said.
Yeah. Well, I guess we want them to think that they're pro-replication. This is actually a film that is a propaganda movie to
I don't know about that.
No, that is not true.
Yeah, I mean, it deals with cloning, which then turns into immortality with the aspect of consciousness transference. And then it deals with the digitization of consciousness. So it's working with the body and hardware, which I guess is current. And it's bringing in the cautionary tale is part of the nefarious part of how can this technology be used? But then it also has kind of the representation of the humanistic positive side of how it can be used.
Totally, yeah.
And it's like, what will you do with it? What will we as our culture, society deal with the technologies that are coming in? And yeah, we're being confronted all the time now. I really feel like we're in a period now where reality is actually ahead of the storytellers.
Huh.
I agree. And that's one thing it's a morality thing for me too, is there's certain benefits to it, but then you're playing with something that you quite don't understand to change everything, so.
Right, but then when your loved one who's your partner disappears, then you're like, maybe I will do that cloning thing.
It is fascinating at the very least of an idea, but thank you guys so much for your time.
I can't believe you're leaving. That was such an interesting point, that reality is ahead of the storytellers. I didn't even think of that.